Plaintiff Amber Leggett started dating the defendant after they met at work, and eventually they got married. Amber claims she and the defendant had problems because their relationship moved too fast. And after she filed for divorce, the defendant started using drugs. She's suing her ex-husband because he promised to pay off one of their vehicles and never did. Defendant Nathan Thomas thought Amber was the perfect wife because she cooked and cleaned. Until one night when he came home and she punched him in the face. Nathan admits he turned to drugs and alcohol after they split up. But he doesn't believe he should have to pay for the car since Amber got everything else in the divorce.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
The defendant and I met in November of '99. We worked together for about a year. We started dating. Our relationship moved very fast, faster than it should have. Within a few months of dating, we were living together. I found out I was pregnant. 4.5 months into the pregnancy, we lost a set of twins. I was devastated, and I believe that that's where things went wrong.
How so?
I was depressed, and I'm sure it wasn't easy to work with, but we couldn't get along. We decided we were going to get married. Figured taking a leap make you happy. Took a chance, and it was also another mistake that we made.
What do you think?
You don't get along, so you get married? Is that how it works?
Hey, sometimes it works. Opposites
Really?
attract. A week after my 19th birthday, we got married, and I was very young. He was over 21 at the time. Things were good for a few months. The relationship started to go down a negative path. We couldn't get along. He would go out places I couldn't attend because I wasn't over 21. I thought it was intentionally trying to exclude me and just going out drinking. There was one night where he came home about 2:30 in the morning. He said that he was going to a bar that I knew closed at 11. When he walked in the door, I asked him where he was, and he said, "Oh, I was here," or whatever. And the first thing I did was slapped him. I admit it was negative.
You slapped him?
I did, because he lied to me. He said he was here when he was really there.
Is that what you typically do when people
No,
lie
sir.
to you?
No, sir. It was a mistake. I was young, and I admit that.
How did he respond?
Just angry, yelling. I had a daughter.
He didn't respond physically?
No, sir, not at that time.
Good. Not that time. Another time he did?
There were other instances, yes, sir. At a later date, there was an instance where he shoved me across the room. There were times where he would just grab me and just yell in my face and shake me. There was never knockdown, drag-out fights, no punching, none of that. It was just yelling, screaming, pushing, just to release some anger and not, I guess, take it to that point.
Right.
We called the cops. No charges were filed. We reconciled before the cops got there because we lived together. It was domestic violence. They explained all that. We agreed, not to press charges, try to work things out. A couple months into the relationship, after all that happened, I just couldn't take it anymore. I left in February of '02, moved in with a coworker. Nathan and I tried to work things out and get back to the state that we were at, and it's got good while we weren't living together. Moved back in with him, and within a month I knew that it wasn't going to work, so I left. I moved back to the coast where I'm from and filed for divorce. When I got the divorce filed, I had to have him sign it. I drove to Memphis where he was still living. He was living in a hotel with some girl, and they were working there, back to the old lifestyle that he lived before we were together.
What was that?
Just drugs and, not the kind of life that I wanted to live. So I was glad that I'd gotten away.
Let me get some background on him before we get into the divorce. Sir, you want to tell me anything about your relationship and or marriage?
Well, first off, we got married young. I thought it went out, I thought it was going good. She was the perfect wife, cooked, cleaned, brought me dinner to work when I wasn't there. And then I would go out after work with my boss, have some drinks, and one night I come home and my perfect, beautiful wife basically turned into Mike Tyson. So I get hit and I just try to push her off, go to bed.
You bite your ear off?
Well, no. I got both my ears.
You say like Mike.
Well,
Mike is my buddy, and so he knows I'm teasing with him, but, don't referring to him, it's saying that that's how she is, and that's one of the things Mike did. And he can take a joke. I'm saying all this so he don't smack me when he sees me. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
We tried to work things out. It didn't work out. When we decided to get divorced, I was really depressed. I did go back to my old lifestyle. I was smoking pot and going out and drinking all the time. I lost the apartment.
Okay, go ahead.
When we split up, Your Honor, we had purchased a vehicle together, and I also had a vehicle that before we got married, I had my grandfather had co-signed for it. Nathan, you know, being that we had the vehicle together, he couldn't get a vehicle on his own, and he needed a vehicle, and I needed a vehicle. There were two.
Divorce or split up? Those are two different
When we decided
things.
to split in May, when I left.
Before the divorce?
Before the divorce was final, yes,
You
sir.
had an agreement saying what?
That he would take the vehicle that I had because it was cheaper, it was easier for him to afford it, and I would take the vehicle we'd gotten together. I retained possession of the vehicle we'd purchased together. And I never heard from him again. March of 03 or 06, my grandfather's wages began being garnished because he had co-signed for the vehicle.
When was the divorce finalized?
It was divorced, I have the paperwork. Divorce was final in November of 03.
Let's see it, please. And he took possession of the car in 02?
Yes, sir, when we split up in May of 02.
Why didn't you mention this in divorce court?
Because it says in the paperwork that our previous possessions were to be retained by the person who had it when we split up, but any agreements up until the point that the divorce was filed were to remain in effect.
That's what it says?
In so many words. The possession
What
that
do
was
you mean
split.
in so many words?
Well, that was my translation of it.
Your translation?
Yes, sir.
You a lawyer?
No, sir.
All right, read that part that you understand. That says that everything you had before is...
Okay. Marital debts that have been divided to the satisfaction of the parties from this date forward, Amber Thomas shall be responsible for the payment and any debts held in her name individually, and Nathan Carl Thomas shall be responsible for the payment and debts of any...
Let's stop right there. What was your translation of that, counselor?
It says that except as herein provided for, any and all marital debts have been divided to the satisfaction of the parties, and from this date forward, that I shall be responsible. So from the date of the divorce, anything that I was responsible for from there on
It's
out.
still in your name.
Yes, sir.
And it's still your debt.
Yes, sir, but this was a verbal agreement.
No, we're
between-
going on what that says, counselor.
Yes, sir. In the next paragraph, it says that the parties agree that any and all rights to any residual property or real property not mentioned in this agreement have been amicably divided between the parties.
I mean, they've already been divided.
Right. We had already made that agreement at the time of the separation, and then when the divorce was final, that's where I interpreted that anything that had been done up until that point was going to be agreed upon by us.
Okay, let me see that part.
That's paragraph 4.
Sir, what do you say? She has concluded that the divorce decree holds you responsible because the parties agree that any and all rights to any residual property and or property not mentioned in this agreement. And the parties further therefore agree that except as herein provided, each party is hereby released, acquitted, and forever discharged. Did you understand that part?
Kind of.
Huh?
Somewhat.
Okay, well, I understand it clearly, not somewhat. And I'm reading it through the eyes of a lawyer and a judge. And I'll make reference once again. The parties further agree that except as herein provided for, each party is hereby released, acquitted, and forever discharged, each by the other. What do you say, sir?
We did actually have an agreement.
Before the divorce?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
But I had the car for probably 3 or 4 months, and it broke down. I couldn't drive it. There was no fixing it. So I figured, well, I mean, I don't have this car. She got pretty much everything, so why should I have to pay for it?
Your Honor, the vehicle ran in excellent condition to the best of my knowledge when we split up.
Because the car broke down, you don't owe anything.
Yes, sir.
That's
And she
your
got
defense.
everything else.
And that she got everything else in the divorce. All right, now I'm going to have to take a close look at your divorce decree, and I'll be back with my judgment because I believe it says something a little different, but I'm going to look thoroughly. All right?
Thank you.
Be right back. All right, once again, ma'am, you're suing your ex-husband for $4,369 for an automobile, and you believe that you were to receive payments from him toward this car, and that was part of the divorce settlement based on your interpretation. And it says, any and all marital debts have been divided to the satisfaction of the parties, and from this date forward, Amber Thomas shall be responsible for the payment of any and all debts held in her name. And Nathan Thomas shall be responsible for any payment of any and all debts held in his name. And the car was in your name.
Yes, sir.
I can't overrule what this judge said. You all, in fact, this is a settlement agreement. This isn't even a contested divorce. You all discussed and agreed to this. So I can't now change what you agreed to. I'm sorry. Case dismissed. Have a good day.
He would hit me and push me and stuff, choke me.
I wanted this to be over with, and it's obviously not going to. I'm going to continue paying for that mistake that I made 7 years ago.
I think the judgment was right.